Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's hockey is live and on the air. Welcome to the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, where it is the first day of the Dan Jilek Ann Arbor Cup tournament, and Pioneer is taking on Skyline in the first game of the day. Second game is at 7 o'clock, and that will be Father Gabriel Richard taking on Huron. We do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of this year's Pioneer men's hockey team. That includes Align Chiropractic Centers, Ann Arbor Door Systems, the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Closetivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Detroit Wing Company, Demo's Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Grishaber Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kindling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Kristen Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nitto Seco America, Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage. See if we can pull that up just a little bit there, get a little bit more. There we go. Just getting a little bit of. We'll pull that up. There we go. Okay, sorry, just playing with the volume. It has been 2 weeks since we've done a broadcast. So, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman Coatry, DDS, PLLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Painting, Steve Stieber Services, Terry Lloyd and Company Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, and Whitney Johnson Pilates. We want to take a look at Pioneer. Pioneer is 1-7 on the season. Their first win came in the last game of the last calendar year. That was on the 19th. It was a 3 o'clock game on a Monday. It was rescheduled due to a issue with Bedford. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get out of work early enough to do that. So we were not able to broadcast it, and Pioneer won their first win of this season, 4-0. Before that, they had a loss to Skyline. We'll talk about that more in just a little bit. That was 5-4. Tight game over at the Arctic Coliseum last time these two teams met. They had a pair of games versus Riverview that were one loss or two loss games. The one on Friday, the 9th, was 5-3. The first one, all the way back on the 16th, was a 4-3. So tight games there between Riverview. They had an overtime game versus Roosevelt. That was back on the 7th of December. That went into overtime. Roosevelt, Pioneer scoring, descended to overtime, and then Roosevelt able to win in overtime. Then a couple games that were a little bit one-sided. Huron beating Pioneer 6-0. Celine beating Pioneer 11-0, and Gabriel Richard beating Pioneer 9-0. That was on the 18th of November, the 23rd of November, and the 28th of November. So Pioneer plays Skyline today. We'll talk about that last game, that win, in just a moment. Then they will play either Huron or Father Gabriel Richard tomorrow. That will be at either 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock tomorrow. Then they go on the road to take on Chelsea. That is on Wednesday the 11th, 6:30 over at the Arctic Coliseum. We will just do a audio broadcast of the game. We'll capture video, but we'll do an audio broadcast of the game since we struggle over there. Then I'll do my best to put those together afterwards. They will be playing Grosse Ile at Grosse Ile. Typically that's at the Kennedy Ice Arena. That's on Thursday the 12th at 7:40. They will be at Dexter on Saturday the 14th, and that is a 7 o'clock game. But if you want to watch a lot of great Pioneer hockey, come on down, because Pioneer women's hockey is playing at 5 o'clock. Then Pioneer men's hockey takes on Dexter at 7 o'clock that game. So that day. So you could come at 5 o'clock, watch both teams, cheer on for both teams. Then they host Lenawee on the 18th. That's a 5 o'clock game here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. They travel over to Divine Child on the 19th, Thursday the 19th, 6:50 over at the Taylor Sportsplex. On Saturday the 21st, 4 p.m. game at Jackson. That's at Optimist Arena. Then they finish off the calendar month with 3 games here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, hosting Divine Child on the 25th. That's a 7:30 p.m. game, hosting Roosevelt on the 28th. That is a 4:30 game, and hosting Grosse Ile at on the 31st. That is a 7:30 game. Take a look at the last game for Pioneer. Pioneer scored 3 in the first. No one scored in the second, and Pioneer scored 1 in the third to win 4-0. Your goal scores: Comuton had a goal, Ward had a goal, and 2 goals for Wilkins, who is really heating up. The assists were to Holt and to Comuton, so it was 2 points for Comuton, 2 points for Wilkins, a point for Holt, and a point for Ward. Cass played between the pipes, made 39 saves, a 100% save percentage there. Now, I do have, I've tried to put a couple of the games together. I'm still missing scores from a couple of the games. But leading the way right now in what I have in points is Wilkins is tied with 4 points, that on 4 goals, and Sutton has 4 points, that on 2 goals and 2 assists. Rounding out the top 5 in points, Comuton has 3 points on 2 goals and 1 assist. Ward has 3 points on 2 goals and 1 assist. And Sanborn has 3 points on 3 assists. Let's talk a little bit about, actually, let's go over Skyline, and then we'll talk about the last game between these two teams. Skyline is 5-5. They're coming off a pair of wins. They were at the Bay Area Thunder on December 17th, won that one 6-3, and they beat Temperance Bedford over at the Toledo Ice House. That was on December 20th, 8-1 win for Skyline. Their wins the rest of the season: they beat Grand Blanc to start off the season 6-0, lost to Livonia Churchill 8-2, beat Dexter 5-2. They had 3 losses in a row, losing to Lake Area on the 3rd, losing to Huron 4-3 on the December 6th, and losing to Saline 6-0 on the 8th. They beat Pioneer, as we know, at home 5-4. Then they lost to Kingsford 4-2 before pulling off the 2 wins in a row. Not a lot of information. I just have the final score in that last game versus Temperance Bedford. Nothing entered as far as who scored or anything like that, but that was 8-1. I don't even have which period they scored in, but we do have that. And then taking a look at the top point getters, of course, it looks like it's missing some games. But who do you have to pay attention to on the Skyline side? Well, Newton, number 9, has 9 points. He has that on 6 goals and 3 assists. Nakashima has 4 points, as well as Moran. Nakashima with 2 goals, 2 assists. Moran with 2 goals and 2 assists. Then a trio tied at 3 points. So Hannah's has 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Lucas DeYoung has 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points. And Ma has 2 goals and 1 assist for 3 points. It has been predominantly, let's see, it lists games played and only lists 3 games played for the goalkeepers. So that's not going to be correct. But Krishaman has played 2 goals according to this. Wilson has played 1. And their save percentages are not correct, so we won't run through that. Taking a look at the scores by period, Skyline has been outscored by 7 in the first period. They've scored 5. The opponents have scored 12. Skyline's best period is the second. They've scored 11. The opponents have scored 10, so +1 in that period. Then in the third, Skyline has scored 9, and the opponents have scored 10, so -1 in the third. In overtime, the opponents have scored once in the overtime period. So 33 goals for the opponents, 25 for Skyline. That's a -8 goal differential. If you throw in the 19 assists, Skyline has 34 points. If you throw in 43 assists for the opponents, that's 78 points. So a differential there. And let's the combined goalkeeper statistics. It looks like, yeah, that's not correct, because it has 6 goals allowed, but 3.0 goals against average. So that is absolutely not right. Save percentage, who knows if that's right. Skyline has a 769, and the opponents have an 898 there. So just a little bit about those two teams. Now let's take a look at the last time these two teams played together. As looking at that, it started off with a goal by Skyline as Newton scored. Lucas DeYoung on the assist. That was at 16-17 in the first. Then Skyline had a second goal at 10:37. Didn't get who scored that, but that made it 0-2. Skyline with the lead. Then it was a penalty to Skyline, head contact, as that went against Hannah's at 5:33. Then it was a Pioneer goal as Comuton scored. Refs on the assist at 4:34. That made it 2-1. Skyline still with the lead. It was a penalty to Skyline as interference on Hannah's at 1:54. Then at 1:10, Pioneer able to tie up the game. Armstrong put it in at 1:10, making it 2-2 at the end of one. In the second period, it was a penalty to Pioneer as slashing call. As going off was Ward for slashing at 16:51. Then Pioneer penalty as Rest went off for an elbow at 11:29. Then it was a Skyline goal as Lucas DeYoung put it in at 11:22. That made it 3-2 Skyline. Penalty to Skyline. Reichbart took an interference call at 8:27. Then Pioneer tied it up 3-3 as Sutton scored. Comuton with the assist at 7:57. Then it was a penalty to Skyline, charging call, as that went to Nakashima at 5:07. Then it was a Pioneer penalty, cross-checking. That one was at 3:09. That was to Ward. Skyline took the lead again, making it 4-3 in the second to 2:44 in the second. That was a goal. Assist was to Newton. Then it became 4-4 as Pioneer scored. Yang scored at 12:04 to make it 4-4. That was in the third. In the third, it was a goal by Skyline at 7:19 as it was going in. Roberts scored for Skyline. That put them ahead 5-4. That was the final tally of the game. There was a roughing call to Rest for Pioneer at 4:07. Penalty to Pioneer as Wilkins went off at 1:40, offsetting penalties as Hana's went off as well at 1:40, and that was the game as Skyline able to pull off the 5-4 win back the last time these two teams met. That was at the Arctic Coliseum. We'll see what happens here today. Pioneer has that fantastic purple banner hanging under the Dan Jilek Ann Arbor Cup Champions banner over to the left because Pioneer won the last 2 years. And now today it'll be a battle to try and advance the second day and try and keep that banner hanging. Let's take a break, play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back with your opening puck drop here. Pioneer versus Skyline at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Still have time to come on down if you want to cheer on either team.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As both teams have hit the ice now, is getting ready, 8 minutes counting down before the game starts. Pioneer is in their home white tops with the black stripe across the middle, block A's on the front, Pioneer block lettering underneath the block A's, numbers on the back and on the shoulders, black pants and black helmets. Skyline is in their darker jerseys, dark blue on the main bulk of the middle. They have the Skyline logo circle on the front. They have the numbers in lighter blue outlined in white on the back and on the shoulders. And then they have a lighter blue across the shoulders on the middle and on the socks. Dark blue on the pants, predominantly, I think, all white helmets here. If you are watching the game and you need to run out and grab a little bit of groceries or whatever you need, or you need to drive somewhere, we also do have an audio broadcast going at the same time, as you can check out arborbroadcasting.com. Just click on the Pioneer Men's Hockey link up at the top underneath the menu, and right underneath the video we should have the audio broadcast available there. So you can certainly go and listen to it while driving without having the video there to distract you. We do want to thank again all the wonderful sponsors of Pioneer men's hockey this season. That includes Align Chiropractic Centers, Ann Arbor Door Systems, the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, the Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Positivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Detroit Wings Company, Demo's Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Reshaper Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kindling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Christian Johnson, DDS, Nito Seco of Ann Arbor, Nico Seco and America, I can read things sometimes. Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman Coatry, DDSP LLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Stieber's Service, Terry Lloyd and Company Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, and Whitney Johnson Pilates. Thank you to all the wonderful folks who support Pioneer Hockey. Please help support those folks who help support the team. We are very, very grateful to all of those who help support the team out there. Let's play just a couple more messages from the MHSAA. We'll have a little bit of music as we are getting ready to go here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube about 5 minutes before things kick off here. So if you're in the area, come on down. We'd love to see you at the game. Folks are filing in. Good crowd already. And if you want to watch a pair of hockey games, well, it is going to be Huron versus Father Gabriel Richard happening right after this game.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
as the warm-up time has ended, 17 minutes up on the clock. We'll see if we get an ice resurfacing here before things kick off, or if we go right into the starting lineups, the national anthem, and our contest. So both teams gathered around their goals. Pioneer getting all the pucks put together. Skyline putting their fists together, huddled up around the goal over there. Looks like Wilson is going to be between the pipes, as out there is Maw, Roberts, Min, and Newton as your starting lineup there, but they will announce that. Pioneer has Gang out there, Miller, Cass is between the pipes, Sanborn, Ward, and Cole Mutin out there for Pioneer. Moran skates out for Pioneer. Maw coming out, starting for Skyline. Min coming out to the blue line, starting for the Eagles. Roberts, who had the game-winning goal last time these two teams played together. Newton, always dangerous top goal scorer for Skyline. And Wilson comes out, the keeper for Skyline. Now your starting lineup for Pioneer. Yang comes out to the blue line, starting for Pioneer. Ward comes out, starting for Pioneer. Sutton skates out to the blue line, starting for Pioneer. Sanborn, starting defender, comes out to the blue line. Miller, starting for Pioneer, skates out to the blue line. And Cass between the pipes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem.
Sarah and Bob right there. Mom. Oh, there they are. Here. Right here.
Good crowd in here today. Always a fantastic crowd when these two teams face off against each other. 17 minutes up on the clock. Getting ready to go here in the first period. Pioneer will be going left to right in this first period. And Skyline won the first game between these two teams 5-4. About 5 minutes left to go in the third. Game-winning goal by Skyline. That was at their home rink, the Arctic Coliseum. This one at Pioneer's home rink, and trying to keep that wonderful Pioneer banner underneath the Dan Jilek banner over to the left. As coming out, here comes Pioneer. As I didn't see, we'll check at the desk during intermission and see if I can't get, there's always a little thing we read about Dan and thanking him and his family. As Roberts has it, feeds it over on the far side. That picked up. Here comes Pioneer. Shot and a save by Wilson. 9 seconds in, Pioneer gets a good shot from the far circle. Wilson makes a save. That faceoff is going to be in the far faceoff circle. That to Wilson's right. As Ward in to take the faceoff versus Mott. That comes right back behind Wilson, picked up by Pioneer. Sutton has it outside the near circle, back to the near point. There's a shot by Miller. That deflects into the far corner. Picking up on that far side, Yang has it outside the far circle, sends it right back behind the Skyline goal. Gathered up there. Here comes Skyline over their own blue line as that's sent ahead by Moran. Now gaining the zone, top of the far circle. That fed in by Min and saved by Cass into the near corner. Gathered it up. Right at the near point, holding it in. Roberts outside the near circle. That's sent back behind by Mob. And actually off the side of the goal, saved by Cass. 16-16 left to go. Scoreless so far here in the first. This is our first broadcast back since the new year, and we are very, very grateful. Hopefully everyone had a fantastic new year and a wonderful holiday season. Face off to the right of Cass as Lucas DeYoung takes that. Now pulling it ahead. Here comes Comutin. Comutin feeding it. Racing into the near corner. Garcia picking it up. Garcia fires it out in front. That right through the slot. Picking it up. Battle for it in the high slot. Friedman couldn't pull it away. Pioneer has it at center ice. Rowe feeds it in along the near boards. Rowe trying to pull it away. Nakashima gathers it in. Nakashima into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Nakashima feeds it right out in front. Cass able to dive down and make a save. 15:47 left to go here in the first period. Face-off stays in the Pioneer zone. They'll be in the far face-off circle. And just to the left of Cass, that puck right to the blue line, trying to pull it away. Nakashima has it at the near point. Nakashima feeds it into the near corner. Rode chasing it, trying to pull it off the end boards into the far corner. Lucas DeYoung has it back to the far point. Now that slips out into the neutral zone. Coming down the far boards with it. Gaining the zone is Garcia. That put right back behind the Skyline goal. Shot off the side of the goal. That rimmed all the way back to the far point. Gathered in, spinning with it. Over there is Sanborn. And puck into the near corner. Trying to pull that away. Garcia battling back there. Trying to get it away from Roberts. Here comes Nakashima. Nakashima on the breakaway. Nice job by Ward to poke that away from Nakashima. The puck on the near circle. Now here comes Pioneer. Loose on the near circle. Battle for it. Trying to pull it out of the zone. That slips over the Pioneer blue line. Here comes Yang down the near boards over center ice. He dumps it deep into the Skyline zone. Into the near corner. Trying to pull that away is Hutton. Pioneer has it at the far point. And in along the end lines, racing over to get it is Sutton now outside the near circle. Miller has it. Trying to feed it ahead. Skyline gets it back out into the neutral zone. Pulled back in by Sutton in the high slot. And puck drifts into the far corner. Reichbart with it there. Reichbart puts it into the near corner. Moran feeding it all the way ahead. Here comes Min. Min gains the Pioneer zone. Min, top of the far circle. Saved by Cass. That comes outside the near circle. Sutton with it. Battle for it. Top of the near circle. Coming over with it. That's a shot save as Bagoso took a shot from the slot and pulled away by Pioneer. Here they come. As Yang had it outside of his own zone, that put right back in, grabbing at Moran outside the near circle. Good job deflecting it by Miller. Battle for it into the near corner. Miller sends it over. Here comes Ward in the far corner, trying to pull that away from Lucas DeYoung. Now Stevens takes it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Stevens into the near corner. That held in at the near point by Roberts. Roberts puts it in along the end boards. Racing into the far corner. Ward trying to pull that away. Lucas DeYoung gets it to Stevens. Stevens puts it right back into the near corner. Roberts with it there. Roberts puts it back behind the Pioneer goal. Ward feeds it out in front. Friedman puts it down the far boards and held in at the far point. Nakashima trying to pull it off of the far corner. Now Lucas DeYoung puts it in along the end boards. That grabbed along the far boards by Pioneer. Yang over his own blue line. Yang over center ice. And picked up by Sutton. Sutton drops it back over. Here comes Comutin. Comutin checked into the boards right in front of the penalty box. Skyline with it. At their own blue line. Over to Roberts coming up the near boards. Roberts gains the Pioneer zone. Roberts on the near circle. Roberts drifts into the near corner, trying to avoid heavy pressure by the Pioneer defense. Sanborn gets that back over. Here comes Pioneer as Comutant brings it ahead. Drop pass over to Garcia. Back over to Comutant, top of the near circle. That knocked away by Newton. He is ever dangerous. Roberts heads the other direction for Skyline into the Pioneer zone. Roberts outside the near circle, into the near corner. That pull by Newton back behind the Pioneer goal from the near side to the far side. The puck into the far corner, controlled there by Comutant for Pioneer, held in at the far point. The puck, high slot, Pioneer trying to tip it away, but that's held in by Barnes into the near corner. Pioneer picks it up back behind their own goal, rims it around the far boards. Pioneer through the neutral zone. Here comes bringing it in as Holt. Holt outside the near circle, loses an edge and tipped the other direction by Skyline, but battle for it. Here comes Garcia with a shot and a save by Wilson. Garcia battling. That comes back to the near point and slips into the neutral zone. Rowe with it at center ice, feeds it down the far side. Sanborn trying to get it ahead. That tipped away by Newton. Newton sends it into the Pioneer zone. Pioneer tries to start the rush the other direction. Comes back into the neutral zone, collected there by Moran. Moran gets it over. Maw with it. Maw makes a move. Shot, and that he has it on the near circle. Maw into the near corner. Sanborn trying to knock that puck away from him. Battle for it outside the near circle. Still trying to dig away at it. Sanborn there. That swept all the way outside the far circle. Trying to keep it in is Skyline. The puck right back behind the Pioneer goal. Picking it up, coming down the far side is Ward. Ward trying to feed it out. Maw intercepts it on the far circle. Maw, the puck loose in the slot. That pulled away. Good job, as that was Sutton to knock it away, but Skyline keeps the puck in the zone. Trying to knock it out. Moran with it. Shot from the far circle and a save by Cass. 10:59 left to go here in the first period. No score so far. Face-off will be to the left of Cass in the far face-off circle. Lucas DeYoung in there versus Comutant. That puck gathered up by Miller. Now coming back behind Comutant, feeds it down the near boards. Tipped by Garcia, but held in at the near point by Nakashima. Pioneer gets it out of the zone, racing ahead. Comutant through center. Comutant gains the Skyline zone, poked back to the near point, grabbed by Nakashima there. Pioneer able to hold it in, sending it deep in along the M boards. Lucas DeYoung gets it over on the far side to Reichbart. Reichbart, that went off the side of the net. On the near circle, Skyline with it is Roberts trying to peel it off of the near boards. Lucas DeYoung gets it all the way down into the Pioneer zone, trying to fire it the other direction as Friedman. Battle for it right at the Pioneer blue line. Now bringing it through the neutral zone. Garcia fires it all the way down into the far corner. Newton gathers it up there, back in the Skyline zone. Newton coming down the near boards. Newton gains the neutral zone through center ice. Newton into the Pioneer zone outside the far circle. That puck right back behind Cass. Trying to get it over there is Moran. Battle for it in the near corner. Ward trying to poke that away. Now coming over Sutton. Sutton through the slot. That fed into the neutral zone in along the far boards. Maw with it there. Maw drifts back to his own blue line. Turns around, spins. That poke checked away, but back. Here comes Sutton. He intercepts his own blue line. Sutton ends up going down to the ice. That's going to be a tripping call. Pioneer will be on the power play first. That at 9:26. Penalty to Skyline, and that's going to be Moran going in for tripping. So Pioneer will be on the power play for the next 2 minutes, barring anything else happening. Scoreless so far, 9:26 left to go here in the first. Face-off in the near face-off circle in the Skyline zone. Comutant in there, taking the face-off versus Nakashima. There's a shot by Rowe. That deflects into the near corner. Gathered, Roberts trying to feed it ahead. Rowe trying to hold it in. High slot, here comes Sutton. That loose in the slot, poked away by Skyline. Newton clears it all the way down the ice. 9:09 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Cass quickly ahead to Sutton. Sutton has it his own blue line. Over center ice. Sutton gains his own. Offsides the call. 8:59 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far, 1:33 left to go on the Pioneer power play. Face-off in the far face-off circle outside the Skyline zone. Komutin versus Nakashima in the face-off circle. That puck in along the far boards. Yang with it at the far point. And knocked away top of the far circle by Roberts. Sutton manages to get it. Sutton outside the far circle. Sutton with a shot! And saved by Wilson outside the near circle. Rowe with it there. He's checked against the boards. Trying to hold it in his Sutton. Battle for it at the near point. And sent ahead. Here comes Skyline. Nakashima gains his own. Good poke check. Is that picked up by Sutton? 8:32 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. 1:03 left to go in the Pioneer power play as Pioneer has it in the neutral zone. This is the first game of the Dan Jilek tournament. Pioneer would love to win this. They've won it the last 2 years. They love to keep that purple banner over there, but first thing they have to do is beat Skyline. And brought ahead by Komutin. Komutin sends it down the far board, so obviously Skyline would love to win the tournament as well. They have fired ahead, so big game for both of these two teams, not to mention big game versus their rivals. Ward battling right in front of the scorer's bench. That pull back behind by Friedman. Friedman sends it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Here comes Garcia. Garcia, top of the near circle. That fed over. Deflected by Skyline. Bringing ahead is Roberts. Roberts feeds it all the way down the boards. Min has it top of the far circle in the Pioneer zone. Min, shot, save by Cass. That goes all the way up through all the metalwork in the ceiling and comes down against the netting. That will be a face-off in the Pioneer zone. 9 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. 7:34 left to go here in the first period. Face-off is to Cass's left as Ward in to take the face-off. Maw on the other side. And puck loose, brought back to the blue line. Shot from there, saved by Cass. Now it's Reichbart with the blast from the blue line. Cass able to see it and cover it up. They'll face off again in the far face-off circle. Just 3 ticks of the clock left in Pioneer's power play. Skyline successfully killing off the power play back to full strength. Ward has the puck back behind his own goal. Sends it down the near boards. Chips it into the neutral zone. And gathered up. Hutton sends it right back into the Pioneer zone, and a whistle. That is going to be offsides and bring that back into the neutral zone. 7:13 left to go in the first. Scoreless so far between these two teams. Face off right in the near face off circle outside the Pioneer zone. Lucas DeYoung in to take the face off for Skyline, as that is going to be Komutin for Pioneer. The puck fired ahead by Skyline, gathered up by Miller. Miller in along the near boards, gets it back into the neutral zone. Komutin feeds it ahead. Here comes Sutton. Sutton into the slot, loses the handle. That back to the far point. Sutton has it there. Sutton has that deflected, bouncing puck right at the blue line. Pioneer trying to hold it in. Yang trying to hold it in. Now here comes Lucas DeYoung. Over to Nakashima. They have to touch up to avoid a offsides. That into the near corner. Stevens with it in the near corner, trying to center it up. That tipped away. Good job by Komutin. Fire back, top of the far circle. Blast! That was a good save by Katz. The puck back to the near point. Hutton trying to feed it ahead. McCallion over there. Now the puck into the far corner. Trying to pull it back. Pioneer battling. Reichbart has it. Now Pioneer. Sutton sweeps it into the neutral zone. Here comes Sutton. Knocked away from him. Pulling ahead is Komutin into the Skyline zone. Komutin with a shot. Blocker save by Wilson. The puck outside the far circle. Battle for it there. Sutton trying to come in and get it. Reichbart has it. That pulled away by Lucas DeYoung. Lucas DeYoung sends it outside the near circle. That swept into the neutral zone. Pulled right at center ice. Swinging with it is Yang, trying to knock that away. The puck back to Friedman in his own zone. Friedman knocks it off the far boards. Yang trying to get it away. That puck comes in, trying to get it away from McCallion. Into the near corner of his own zone. Newton has it for Skyline. Loses an edge. Here comes Pioneer. Sutton drops it back. Top of the near circle to Rowe with a blast. Back to the far point. Held in there by Ward. Now swept into the neutral zone. Ward feeds it back to Friedman in his own blue line. The puck ricocheted off the far boards and sent deep as Pioneer goes for a line change. Newton gathers it in behind Wilson. Newton into the near corner as pressure coming back there by Ward. Then sent ahead, top of the near circle in the Pioneer zone. Pioneer gets it right back out into the neutral zone as Sanborn trying to feed it ahead. And coming in, Holt trying to knock it away. Skyline gathers it up right at center ice. Bringing it in, Moran. Shot, rising shot, top of the near circle, and a save by Cass. 4:58 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far between these two teams. Face-off in the near face-off circle to Cass's right. Maw in to take the face-off. Ward on the other side. The puck coming in. Here comes Moran. Saved by Cass. Moran skated right to the edge of the crease. Cass with a great save. Min now sends it right behind Cass. Moran trying to battle on that far circle, pulled away. Here comes Pioneer racing ahead with it. Holt had it, poked away by Skyline as they gather it up. Roberts back in his own zone, starts the Skyline rush. Roberts over center ice. Roberts gains the Pioneer zone. Roberts high slot comes over on the near circle. Roberts goes back behind Cass, trying a wraparound attempt. Cass with a save. 4:23 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far between these two crosstown rivals. Skyline so far has bragging rights between these two teams, having won the first game. Pioneer would absolutely love to get equal with them, get a big win here, and continue on the winner's bracket for day 2 of this tournament. Pull back behind, fed ahead, that loose outside the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Brought ahead by Cole Mutant. Cole Mutant over center. Cole Mutant races into the near corner. Cole Mutant has it there, battling in the near corner. That pulled away by Roberts. Roberts has it outside the near circle of his own zone, feeds it ahead all the way down into the Pioneer end. Sanborn has it back behind Cass, comes over underneath the near circle, feeds it through the neutral zone, coming in with it. Here comes Cole Mutant with a shot and a score! Cole Mutant puts it in at 3:47. Pioneer goes up 1-0 on the Eagles. We'll see if there is a assist to that. But Cole Mutant, the wrister, puts Pioneer up 1-0. As Pioneer definitely liking to, definitely happy to get the opening tally of this game. Face off right at center ice. Cole Mutant there. Facing off versus Maw. The puck back in the Skyline zone, deflected into the far corner. Here comes Yang. Yang outside the far circle. Yang feeds it in along the end boards. Back to Cole Mutant, right out in front, trying to get it. Knocked away by Maw. Battle for it on the far side of the net. And covered up by Wilson. 3:31 left to go here in the first. 1-0, Pioneer with the lead. Shots not being tallied today. And I'm not able to track them. I won't make the call. Face off in the far face off circle and to Wilson's left. That's sent around by Reichbart outside the near circle. Bringing ahead is Newton. Newton feeds it down the far board, so the neutral zone. Sanborn got the assist on the Cole Mutant goal. Here comes Newton, top of the near circle, through the slot. Shot saved by Cass. Maw has it in the far corner and pulled away. Here comes Pioneer, held in by Reichbart into the near corner. Moran with it there. Shot saved by Cass as Reichbart took a blast from the near circle. Cass, good vision, able to glove that down. 2:53 left to go here in this first period. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Face off in the near face off circle. Lucas DeYoung in to take the face off. For Pioneer, it's going to be Ward. That is to Cass's right. It tipped away top of the near circle, bringing it ahead as Garcia gets it out into the neutral zone. That deflected right back behind Cass, picked up by Sanborn. Sanborn into the near corner. He's pinned there. Skyline trying to pull that away as Nakashima has it on the far circle. Nakashima sends it high slot. Now on to the near corner. There's Newton with a shot and a goal. Newton ties it up at 2:30 as he caught, I believe, the upper right-hand corner. as Newton with the point lead for Skyline. We'll see if we get any assist on that, I would assume. We're all knotted up at one apiece. That puck brought back and along the near boards. Newton with it in his own zone, comes over his own blue line. Newton feeds ahead. Tipped by Nakashima. Nakashima trying to battle. Brought back by Sanborn, back behind his own goal. Nakashima on the assist. I believe there was a second assist that I couldn't hear. But it was Newton on the goal, Nakashima on the assist. Face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle. That is going to be DeCass's right. 2:05 left to go here in the first. Lucas DeYoung has it back behind the Pioneer goal. Into the far corner, now outside the far circle. Gets it back to Roberts at the far point. And in along the end boards, Nakashima on the far circle with the shot. That got deflected. Miller with it down the far board. Sent ahead by Yang. Back into the neutral zone. Newton has it for Skyline, pulling it into the Pioneer zone. Newton goes in along the end boards, firing it out in front. Battle for it. Cass somehow able to knock it away. Beautiful pass by Newton right out front, trying to get it to Nakashima. And pull back over. Skyline having it, and that is going to be a penalty to Skyline coming up. Nakashima goes into the box for interference. That is at 1:31. So Skyline picks up their second penalty so far of the game. Face-off in the far face-off circle. 1-1 is our score with 1 minute 31 seconds left to go here in the first. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Puck battling, that's sent back out into the neutral zone by Skyline. Sanborn has it in along the near boards. Sanborn back to Sutton. Sutton has it right at center ice. Sutton skating ahead, gains the zone. Sutton, top of the far circle. Sutton into the far corner. Rims it all the way around to Yang outside the near circle. Back to Sanborn outside the near circle, trying to pull that away. Back to the near point to Yang. Yang has it poked away. Coming ahead with it is Min. Min gains his own. Min, top of the near circle. Shot in a glove save by Cass. Cass drops it down underneath the near circle. Pioneer, 52 seconds left to go here in the first period. 1-1 is our score, bringing it ahead. Gaining the zone. Offsides the call. So 45 seconds left to go here in the first. 1:14 left to go in Pioneer's second power play. That's going to be a face-off outside the Skyline zone in the far face-off circle. Lucas DeYoung in there to take the face-off for the Eagles. Co-Mutant to take the face-off for Pioneer. As battle for it, tipped back. Miller has it in along the far boards, trying to feed it ahead. Here comes Pioneer. Yang has it. Drops it back to Friedman at the far point. Back over to Yang. That tipped away. Coming ahead is Roberts. Roberts with speed. Gains the Pioneer zone. Roberts comes in. And a good job to knock it away. Great defense by Miller to lift the stick right at the right time. A good attempt by Skyline for a shorthanded goal. That fed outside the near circle. Held in at the near point. Now that slips back into the neutral zone. Newton drifts back to his own blue line to set up the offense. 9 seconds left to go here in the first period. Pioneer on the power play, that tipped ahead, intercepted by Roberts right at center ice. Roberts feeds it to the Pioneer blue line, and that will do it for the first period. 1-1 is our score. Started off with a penalty to Skyline, as that was Moran for tripping at 9:26. Then it was a goal for Pioneer. Co-Mutant with Sanborn on the assist at 3:47 with 2:30 left to go. It was tied up about a minute 15 seconds later by Skyline as Newton scored, and it was Nakashima on the assist at 2:30. Then a penalty to Skyline as Nakashima took an interference call. 1 minute 31 seconds left to go in the period. So Pioneer will have a 29-second power play to start off the second period, and they will do their best to score on that. We do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer. men's hockey. That includes Align Chiropractic Center, Ann Arbor Doors Systems, Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Closetivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Detroit Wings Company, Demos Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Reshaper Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kinley Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Christian Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nido Seco America, Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman Coterie, DDS, PLLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Schieber Service, Terry Lloyd and Company Real Estate Agent, Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, and Whitney Johnson Pilates. Thank you to all those wonderful, wonderful folks who help support the Pioneer team. If you would be so kind to help support them, we would be very, very grateful. We're going to play a few messages from the MHSAA. We'll come back with our intermission scoreboard report and look at MHSAA scores around Michigan since the new year.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Now it's time for intermission scoreboard report as taking a look at MHSA hockey starting on the third. 4 games there as it was Gabriel Richard, Riverview Gabriel Richard beating University of Liggett 4-3. It was Marquette shutting out Plains Darrell's Jeffers 5-0. It was Hancock Bulldogs shutting out Calumet 1-0, and it was Forest Hills Northeastern beating Forest Hills Central 5-3. Taking a look at action, lots of games happening. On the 4th, it was Madawan shutting out the Kalamazoo Eagles 6-0. It was Capital City shutting out Jackson 1-0. Petoskey beat Gaylord, tripling them up 6-2. It was Leanne Crease Unified beating Port Huron Northern 3-2. Flint Power shut out Genesee 8-0. It was Traverse City Central beating Cadillac 7-0. Alpena beat Sheboygan, shutting them out 8-0. Livonia Stephen beat Livonia Franklin 8-0. It was a 2-goal win by Reiths Puffer over to Caledonia, 6-4. The Bay Area Thunder doubled up Tawas, 4-2. It was Bay City with the 2-goal win over Chelsea, 6-4. Granville doubled up West Ottawa, 6-3. It was Lenawee with a 1-goal win over Dexter, 4-3. Divine Child with a 1-goal win over Wyandotte Roosevelt, 9-8. Midland shut out Lakes Area 8-0. It was FMV Griffin stopping Mid-Michigan, 8-2. White Lake Lakeland with a 1-goal win over the M1 Griffins, 3-2. Detroit Catholic Central shut out Grosse Pointe South, 8-0. It was Romeo topping Utica Ford United, 4-3. Northville fell to Eastside. Eastside beat them 10-4, and it was Grosse Ile beating Temperance Bedford 7-3. Taking a look at action, 6 games happening on Thursday the 5th. It was Lake Orion beating Grosse Pointe South 5-2. Manistee beat Nagini 5-4. It was Escanaba beating Kingsford 5-2, and Riverview Gabriel Richard beating Detroit Country Day 3-2. 37 games happened yesterday. That includes Reiths Puffer beating the FMV Griffins 5-1. It was Grand Rapids Christian topping Midland 5-2. Portage Muskies beat Canton 7-2. It was Leanne Crease Unified with a 1-goal win over Lakes Area 3-2. Clarkston beat Grand Haven by a score of 9-1. It was Grosse Ile shutting out Riverview Cabrini 4-0. University of Liggett with a 1-goal win over Utica Eisenhower 4-3. Tri-Valley Titans beat the Thumb Area Legion 5-1. It was a 2-goal win, Kenowa Hills over Northfield 6-4. Chelsea beat Lumen Christi by a score of 7-4. Rockford with the 2-goal win over Forest Hills Northeastern 3-2. It was Capital City taking it to Kalamazoo United, shutting them out 7-0. 1-goal win by Mid-Michigan over Gaylord, 6-5. It was Houghton shutting out Brighton, 6-0. Calumet and Northville ended up in a 1-1 tie. That over at Calumet. Romeo beat Chippewa Valley United 3-1. It was University of Detroit Jesuit doubling up Cranbrook Kingswood 4-2. Mona Shores shut out Birmingham Unified 3-0. It was Novi, the 2-goal win over the Hancock Bulldogs, 5-3. Saginaw Heritage with an 8-goal win over Granville, 7-goal win over Granville, 8-1. It was Gibraltar Carlson shutting out Woodhaven 4-0. Grand Rapids Catholic Central beat Midland Dow by a score of 6-3. It was Caledonia with a 1-goal win over Hudsonville 3-2, and Sault Ste. Marie with a 6-goal win over Fenton Linden 7-1. Let us get, looks like they've just resurfaced the ice, finishing that off. Let's play a little push on, and we will be right back with a couple messages from the MHSAA, and we will get going with second period action. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey taking on Skyline at the Dan Jilek Tournament, and we are all knotted up at 1 apiece at the end of 1.
The love of the game draws us to sports as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We'll pull that down because we are just about ready to get going for the second period. All knotted up at one apiece as Cass makes his way down to the goal to our right, and Wilson goes down to the goal to our left. 1-1, 17 minutes up on the clock, hitting the second period. Winner gets to play tomorrow. They will face the winner of Huron versus Father Gabriel Richard for the Dan Jilek Ann Arbor Cup. Face off right at center ice. That brought back, gathered ahead with it. Bringing it in is Roberts for Skyline on the far circle. Roberts, shot saved by Cass. Picked up, coming down the far side is Gomutin. Gomutin over his own blue line, feeds it ahead. Here comes Sutton tipping it. That grab back, feeding ahead is Newton. And it goes all the way down, deflects right in front. Cass steers it into the far corner. 7 seconds left to go. The puck in the Pioneer zone. 7 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play as they bring it ahead. Skyline back to full strength now. As that puck held in by Sutton. Sutton over the near circle of his own zone, sends it into the neutral zone. That deflected in along the near corner. Lucas DeYoung brings it into the Pioneer zone outside the near circle. Feeds it into the slot. That's swept away. Trying to get it out. The zone is Yang. And saved and a shot by Newton. Blocker save by Cass. The puck into the far corner. Right back behind the goal. Nakashima has it. That pull back away. Here comes Gomutin. Gomutin racing through the neutral zone. Gomutin has his stick lifted. The puck back to the far point. Held in by Pioneer. Friedman has it. Now here comes a breakaway. Nakashima with it coming in. Nakashima and a head save by Cass. Yeah, he got that left leg out there to stop it. The puck outside the far circle. We're all knotted up at one apiece. 15:38 left to go here in the second. Winner advances the day to the final of the Dan Jilek tournament. Puck in along the far boards. Ward brings it back behind his own goal. Now that kicks out into the slot. Backhanded shot gets blocked. Here comes Pioneer over their own blue line. Friedman gets over center ice. Friedman gets it into the Skyline zone, dumps it into the far corner. Friedman chasing, knocked away. Now coming the other direction, Skyline gets it ahead to Min. Tipped away by Rowe. Rowe chases it as Cass puts it in along the near boards. Garcia gets it back through the neutral zone. Friedman fires it back deep before he goes for a line change. The puck through the neutral zone, now fired right back in as that fed down the far side. Hutton had it into the far corner. Hutton gets it back underneath the near circle for Skyline. He feeds it down the near boards to Min. Min through the neutral zone. That tipped away. Good job by Gomutin. Min gets it back. Feeds it over on the far side. That knocked away from Maw. Bouncing puck on the far circle. Backhanded shot and they score. as that was Moran putting it in. 2-1 Skyline with a goal at 14:27, and I believe Cass was screened. I don't even think he saw that coming, but beautiful backhanded shot puts Skyline ahead. I believe that was Moran. We'll get final confirmation from the scores box in just a moment. The puck in along the near boards. Comuton has it. That intercepted, coming in, shot by Lucas DeYoung. The puck into the far corner. Trying to pull it away, comes right back behind Cass with it. Lucas DeYoung, that off the goal. Cass has it, moved ahead. Now here comes Sutton over center ice for Pioneers. Sutton gains his own. Yang to his left. Trying to get to Yang. Good defensive play to knock it away by Newton. Coming through. Here comes Nakashima gaining the Pioneer zone. Outside the near circle. Nakashima goes back behind the Pioneer goal into the far corner. That pulled back over by Miller. Miller sends it into the neutral zone to Yang. Yang over center ice. Yang with a shot that into the near corner. So that was Ma with the goal, assisted by Min and Morant. Fired all the way back into the Pioneer zone. 13:19 left to go here in the second. That is going to be icing and bring it back into the Skyline end. 2-1, Skyline with the lead on Pioneer. Face-off will be to Wilson's right in the near face-off circle. Ward in to take the face-off. Maw on the other side. Maw with the goal-ahead goal. And puck through the slot, bringing at his right bark over his own blue line. Right bark down the far boards, dumps it deep in along the end boards of the Pioneer zone. Rowe knocks it outside the far circle. Garcia trying to get to it. Slips right behind Cass into the near corner. And pulled back over by Hannahs. Hannahs has it. That loose into the near corner now. Hannahs with a shot. And knocked away. The puck back behind Pioneer. Back behind their goal. Trying to pull it away. And lifted back over by Barnes outside the near circle. Bringing it over. Hannah's trying to fire it out in front. That got knocked down by Ward. The puck swept back out into the neutral zone. Hutton has it in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Hannah's fires it right back in to the Pioneer zone. Collected there as Friedman trying to get it out of the zone. Held in at the blue line. The puck comes just to the far side of the goal. Bounces off the back of the goal. Comes into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Trying to pull that away. Back over there is Rowe. The puck shot from the near circle. Deflected out in front. Hannah's trying to feed it in. There's a save. Diving save by Cass as he knocked down the shot, then dove on top of it. 12:07 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Skyline with the lead. They took the lead at 14:27 in this period. Face-off is going to be to Cass's right in the far face-off circle. It was a nip and tuck game when these two teams first played each other, as Maw versus Comuton. And coming in the slot, shot and a save by Cass. The puck into the near corner. It's point-blank shot from the far edge of the crease by Skyline. Now that puck comes into the neutral zone. Bringing ahead. Here comes Pioneer trying to dump it over Comuton. That goes into the far corner. Sutton trying to pull that away. The puck back behind Wilson. Now bringing ahead Min over his own blue line. Min trying to get it over to Maw. Maw on the near circle. Maw backhands it into the slot. And poked away from Moran. Moran has it. Back to the far point. Drops it back there. Now racing in. Pioneer gets it away. Sutton trying to get it. Pulled back by Newton at his own blue line for Skyline. Newton drifts back, trying to avoid Pioneer pressure. 11:15 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Skyline with the lead. Newton comes in. Newton makes a move. Shot, and he scores. That was, you got to give credit where credit's due. Newton came in from the blue line, deked and made it through the slot, got past the defender, and then was able to lift it up into the upper right-hand corner. Cass went down to try and cover the bottom. Nothing he could do about that, as that was just a pretty goal by Skyline. They take the 3-1 lead here in the second at 11:08. Face off right at center ice as Ward facing off. Now bringing it in, Nakashima, that pulled back away by Miller. Miller puts it in along the far boards, held in, shot by Stevens. That went off the side of the goal, trying to pull that away. That rims all the way outside the near circle. Right Bark puts it into the near corner. And is trying to get it, Lucas DeYoung. Now trying to pull that away. Holt ends up down on the ice. There's a shot from the near point. That comes all the way outside the far circle. There is going to be a whistle. And it seems a heated exchange there. It's good job by the players to keep each other apart. Stevens into the penalty box at 10:38. And it's going to be a roughing call, I believe. Pioneer on the power play. They're down 2, 3-1. Skyline with the lead at 10:38. Pioneer had the early goal. 3:47 left to go in the first. Then Skyline tied it up. They've had 2 goals here in the second to take the 3-1 lead. As the officials talking things over at the scorer's bench across the way. Face-off will be to Wilson's right in the near face-off circle. Lucas DeYoung in to take the face-off. Looks like Comuton for Pioneer. As it looks like there was going to be offsetting penalties, but then they pulled Ward out of the penalty box. Here comes Pioneer. Rowe with a shot that deflects all the way back into the neutral zone. I believe it was Nakashima who went down to block that. Rowe feeds it over the blue line. Bringing ahead is Yang. Yang circles back right at center ice. Yang trying to wait for the offense to get set up now. Yang drop pass as Nakashima trying to grab it. Here comes Sutton. Sutton back to his own blue line. Sutton comes over and along the near boards. Over his own blue line. Sutton over center ice. Sutton gains the Skyline zone on the far circle. Drop pass back to the far point. Shot saved by Wilson. Another shot. That trigger couldn't get pulled properly as it comes all the way back. Buck wouldn't settle down back into the Pioneer zone. 9:55 left to go here in the second. 1:15 left to go in the Pioneer power play. Skyline up 3-1 as Comuton trying to get it, and that pass just missed him. Ricocheted off the near boards, and that'll be an icing, and that'll come all the way right back into the Pioneer zone. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Cass's right. Pioneers still on the power play for 1 minute, 8 seconds left to go. In that power play, they're down 2 goals, 3-1. Comuton in to take the face-off. And versus Maw comes back to the far point now. All the way back behind the Pioneer goal. Sanborn bringing it down the far boards. Dumps it back over to Comuton. Comuton feeds it into the neutral zone. Trying to get it. And poked away by Maw. Now bringing it ahead is Hutton. Hutton has it in along the far boards. Pioneer steals that away. Bringing it the other direction is Comuton. Comuton with a shot that just goes high. The puck loose in the slot, brought ahead. Sanborn corrals it in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Feeds it over to Yang. Yang moves it in along the far boards. Pioneer has to reset at their own blue line. Miller chipping it ahead. Trying to pull that over is Comuton. Comuton has that chipped away by Min into the far corner. 24 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Skyline up by 2 goals. That puck steered into the near corner by Wilson. Reichbark had it. Reichbark back into the near corner. Trying to hold it in at the near point is Sanborn. That slips back out into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to reset. Miller fires it deep. That outside the near circle. Pulling it up. Reichbark has it. That's skied back into the neutral zone. Sanborn Moves it over on the far side. Skyline back to full strength. There's a shot by Stevens. He grabbed it just coming out of a penalty box. And fired by Maw, back behind the Pioneer goal. Into the far corner. Lucas DeYoung. And over to Newton, top of the near circle. Newton with a shot that goes high. Getting the glove on it was Cass. Moved on the far circle. Skyline with it. That puck drifts outside the near circle. Trying to pull it over, Lucas DeYoung. Trying to get it back to Newton. That slips back into the neutral zone. Newton has his own blue line. Yang trying to provide pressure. 7:55 left to go here in the second. Skyline up 3-2. Stevens brings it down the near boards for Skyline. Tried to gain the Pioneer zone, bringing it the other direction. Trying to get it as Garcia. Comuton had it poke checked away from him. Now Miller trying to get it as that's fired by Skyline all the way back behind Cass. Sanborn with it there. Sanborn trying to peel it off of the M boards, moving it over to Holt. Holt down outside the near circle. He takes a check from Lucas DeYoung. That puck brought right back into the Pioneer zone. Miller banks it off the M boards, trying to fire it out in front as Hannes. That puck loose on the near circle. Back to the near point. Newton with a shot that deflected away. Here comes Pioneer. They fire it all the way down the ice. That'll be icing. Again, difference between high school hockey and college or professional, they get a line change even though the puck was ice. So Pioneer gets some fresh legs out there on a line change. Face-off will be to Cass's left in the near face-off circle. 3-1, Skyline with the lead. 7:09 left to go here in the second. Winner advances to day 2, the final of the Dan Jilek tournament. The puck comes back behind and along the end boards. Pioneer trying to knock it away off the near boards. Trying to get that ahead was Holt. That fired right back in by Skyline into the far corner. Friedman rims it all the way around the boards outside the near circle. That comes back into the neutral zone. Newton has it in his own blue line. Sends a cross ice pass. Roberts brings it ahead, gaining the Pioneer zone. Roberts on the far circle. Shot saved by Cass. 6:37 left to go here in the second. 3-1, Skyline with the lead. We appreciate all of you tuning in. You can't be at the rink. We're very, very grateful for your support of either of these two teams. Face off to Cass is right in the far face-off circle. Battle for it, trying to peel that away. Shot on Cass with the save. Moran got it as the face-off just drifted to the inner edge of that far circle. Moran with the blast. Cass able to cover that up. Now 6:32 left to go in the second. Pioneer down by 2 goals. Moy in to take the face-off for the Eagles. Comuton on the other side. And puck into the far corner. Miller trying to get to it. Moy sends it into the near corner. Min trying to pull that away. Sanborn digging in the near corner, trying to get it as well. Now a trio or quartet of people trying to pull that away. Comuton back behind his own goal. Tipped right back. Miller trying to feed it over to Comuton. Comuton outside the far circle of his own zone. Still battling over there. Moran trying to tip it away. Miller avoids some pressure. Miller moves it back. Here comes Sanborn. Sanborn into the far corner of his own zone. Moran pins him there. Sanborn feeds it right to his blue line to Yang. Yang coming through the neutral zone, down the far boards. Yang gains the Skyline zone. Yang in along the end boards into the far corner. Yang trying to get it over to Sutton. Back over to Yang on the far side of the goal and covered up by Wilson. 5:42 left to go here in the second. Skyline 3, Pioneer 1 here on the opening day of the Dan Jilek Ann Arbor Cup tournament. All right, after this, it's 7 o'clock. Will be Father Gabriel Richard versus Huron. The winner of this game will play the winner of that game tomorrow. The losers will play at 1 o'clock. As that gathered in, here comes Skyline fading it ahead. Nakashima gets back behind the defense and a save by Cass. Nakashima with a shot just outside the far portion of the crease. Cass with a great save. The puck in the near corner, trying to pull that away. A quintet of people trying to get to that. That's sent back to the near point to Newton. Newton with a shot from the slot. Blocker save by Cass into the far corner. Skyline has the puck on the far circle. That puck to the blue line, held in by Lucas DeYoung. Lucas DeYoung into the near corner with it. As Hudson trying to pull that away. Now coming in, as there's going to be another penalty coming up to Stevens. 4:56 left to go here in the second. Maybe not. Thought they blew the whistle there, and no penalty. No one's in the box, so now that puck will be won back into the neutral zone. Here comes Yang. Backhands it into the far corner, trying to get away from Newton. Yang moves it outside the far circle, trying to bring it ahead is Stouffer. Stouffer moves ahead. Now McCalliot puts a bouncing puck right at the Pioneer blue line. That puck rolls on edge outside the near circle. 4:33 left to go here in the second. 3-1. Skyline with the lead. Sutton bringing it ahead. Sutton has that knocked away. Excellent job by Newton to pull that away. Now Stouffer comes over center ice. Stouffer for Skyline. Dumps it in along the end board. Sanborn gathers it in there, trying to move it over to Rowe. Sanborn trying to get it away from Barnes. Barnes trying to put it in. Barnes gets it on the near side of the goal and able to put it in before Cass could slip over. Barnes with the goal, and it is now a 3-goal lead by Skyline. All 3 go-ahead goals in the second. And at 4:06. It was knocked off of the end boards. Barnes had it. And I think that Cass thought it was going to go over to the other side, and Barnes able to lift it and get it in. As I believe that may well have been, looks like they grabbed that puck, so it might well have been Barnes' first goal of the season as that puck brought back into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn chases it back into the far corner. Nakashima trying to separate him from the puck. As that rimmed all the way outside the nearest circle, Newton trying to grab it. Now coming in, Onstead has it. That loose, trying to bring it in. Miller, loose at the top of the near circle. Here comes Yang. Yang feeds it. That brought in by Stevens. Unassisted goal by Barnes. A puck into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Pioneer has it there as Sanborn battling in along the end board. Sanborn feeds ahead to Yang. Yang trying to move it. That grab by Roberts. Roberts at his own blue line. Roberts sends it all the way down. That should be icing, and as it will be, that will head back into the Skyline zone. 4-1 now. Skyline with the lead. 3:15 left to go here in the second. Face-off will be to Wilson's right in the near face-off circle. Pioneer really love to get the next goal, try and get that momentum swung around to make a big comeback here as Friedman with a shot that just goes wide. The puck outside the far circle, grabbing it Moran. Moran feeds it into the neutral zone, gathered up by Friedman. Friedman in along the near boards to Yang. Yang dumps it as that on the far circle. Moran feeding it ahead through the neutral zone. Friedman gathers it in along the far boards, that up and to the Skyline bench. 2:52 left to go here in the second. 4-1. Skyline with the lead. Face-off is going to be outside of the Pioneer zone in the far face-off circle. Maw in there to take the face-off versus Ward. On the Pioneer side, that puck into the far corner as that's sent by Moran outside the near circle. Lifted into the end boards, trying to knock it away is Hudson. The puck into the near corner. Moran has it. Moran on the near circle, backhands it out and punt. Cass able to knock it away. Back to the blue line. That slips out into the neutral zone. Racing to get ahead, trying to pull that away and firing it back deep. Excellent job over there, firing it in by Holt. Puck loose outside the far circle. Moran trying to get it. That tipped away. Rimmed all the way into the near corner. Reichbark trying to get to it. As Ward trying to hold it in. That pulled away. Bringing it ahead is Maw. Maw gains the Pioneer zone. Top of the near circle. Maw fires it into the slot. Shot and a score. As Maw set it up. And Min put it in. So that will be Min from Maw, 5 from 15. At 1:57, Maw coming down on the near side and saw Min coming down across the far circle and just dumped it over. And Cass had to play the person with the puck, and just a good move and a good shot. That makes it 5-1. 4-goal explosion by Skyline here in the second. And Pioneer, as if they want to keep that purple banner underneath the Dan Jilek tournament banner on the other side, they need to make a big comeback here. Pioneer scored first, and Skyline has 5 unanswered goals. As Comutin, Barnes, and Rowe all chatting right at center ice. Now the officials come over to talk to Pioneer. Not exactly sure what it looked like a clean goal. And of course, that's why we have the officials down on the ice. They see a lot better than I can. They have the better position. And we can't have the games we love without them. So if you think, if you take a look and think you could do a better job, contact the MHSAA. You don't have to agree with every call the officials make, but we do have to have them in order to have the games we love. So line change coming out for Skyline. Barnes now comes over after the line change. Now Cass is going to come out, and it's going to be Houston. As Cass is talking a little bit about some of his holiday experiences there. As Cass is going to the locker room, defenders come over and try and give Houston a big pat on the back as Sanborn and Miller trying to, or Sanborn and Rowe trying to pump Houston up there. So 2-minute penalty on the board at 1:57. That was to Cass, and it is being served. I can't quite get a jersey number there. Obviously someone else saving it as Cass was sent to the locker room. So Houston in a tough position here. Houston has to come in down by 4 goals. Try and keep Skyline from scoring anything more to try and make a big Pioneer comeback. Now it looks like it's going to be offsetting penalties, as Skyline has a player in the box as well. So that's going to be offsetting penalties there. It looked like some kind of game misconduct to Cass. So it is going to be 5-on-5. Go Mutant versus Maw, a pair of 15s taking the face-off. That comes all the way back. Roberts has it on the far circle of his own zone. Gets it over to Newton. Newton feeds it ahead. Bringing it ahead. Here comes Maw. Maw offsides the call. As that is going to be brought outside the Pioneer zone in the far face-off circle. 1 minute, 46 seconds left to go here in the second. 5-1. Skyline with the lead. The puck all the way back into the Skyline zone. Newton travels back to get it. In along, back behind the Pioneer goal. Newton feeds it ahead. That goes all the way down. That'll be icing. And head back into the Skyline zone for a face-off. 1:33 left to go here in the second. Face-off is going to be to the right of Wilson. I believe it's still Wilson in there. Haven't seen a change on that side. And face-off, loose coming in. Shot by Sutton. Head into the far corner. Balford, Skyline, pulls away, coming down the far boards. Roberts trying to feed it ahead. That intercepted, trying to send it in was Rowe. Tipped away in along the near boards. Pioneer with it. Sutton right at center ice, bringing it ahead. Sutton gains his own, but that poked away by Hannes. At the far point, Comuton trying to fire it. In the high slot, Comuton comes. That tipped away. Here comes Skyline. As that all the way back, Sanborn has it at his own blue line. Sanborn trying to feed it ahead. The puck loose at the Pioneer blue line. Coming ahead with it, Sutton over center ice. Sutton gains the Skyline zone. Sutton trying to feed it through the slot. That knocked away. Good defensive play back there by Roberts. The puck into the near corner. Here comes Newton through the neutral zone for Skyline. Gains the Pioneer zone, top of the near circle. Newton has that poked away. Again, good defensive play down there from Miller. The puck at the near point. Fired all the way back by Newton into the far corner. McCallion has it outside the far circle. Pioneer feeds it. And it was tipped all the way back into the Skyline zone. Racing ahead. Yang trying to intercept it. That into the near corner of the Skyline zone. Lifted into the neutral zone. Stevens loses his stick, but that goes all the way over. That will be icing and head back into the Skyline end. 14 seconds, 14.1 seconds left to go here in the second. 5-1, Skyline with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. As Ward in to take the face-off versus Lucas DeYoung. Now Hutton into the far corner. Held in, and that whistle, 7.3 seconds left to go. Looks like a hand pass. So that will come all the way down on the hand pass into the Pioneer zone. Hand pass. 7.3 seconds left to go. Face off to Houston's left in the near face-off circle. 5 seconds left. The puck outside the near circle. Trying to fire it ahead. Holt down to the ice. And that will do it for the second period. So at the end of 2, Skyline explodes for 4 goals in the second, making it 5-1 going into the second intermission. It was a goal by Skyline. Moss scoring, Min and Moran on the assist at 14:27. Then it was Newton with the Skyline goal at 11:08. It was a penalty to Skyline for roughing to Stevens, that at 16:38. Then it was a Skyline goal as Barnes scored unassisted at 4:06. Then it was a Skyline goal as Min was set up by Maw at 1:57. And that's where we're at, 5-1. I'm going to see if I can grab a little message that we used to read the last several years about Dan Jilek. So we'll play a few messages from the MHSAA. When we come back, we'll do a general scoreboard report. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Harbor Broadcasting. 5-1, Skyline with the lead at the second intermission.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the Health and Safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Alrighty, I do have something. I'll read it before we come back on, but I did find something written by Terry Jacoby on We Love Ann Arbor that talks a little bit about Dan Jilek from 3 years ago. 2020 was 3 years ago. Unbelievable. But we'll talk about that in a second, besides the fact I'm old, and I still swear the 90s was like 10 years ago, but that's okay. We do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Men's Hockey. That includes Align Chiropractic Center, Ann Arbor Door Systems, Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Closet Tiffany of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Detroit Wings Company, Demo Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberger, Real Estate One Agent, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Grease Shaver Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kindling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Christina Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nido Seco America, Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman Coterie, DDS, PLLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Service, Terry Lloyd and Company, Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, Whitney Johnson Pilates. Let's do a quick scoreboard report here for things going on in and around. Let's take a look at college hockey from yesterday, as it was Boston University beating Air Force by a score of 5-2. Michigan Tech doubled up Arizona State 4-2. It was Maine shutting out Alaska Anchorage 1-0. It was a final in overtime 3-3 between Yale and Merrimack. In overtime, it was a final 1-1 between Bemidji State and Minnesota Duluth. North Dakota beat Lindenwood 4-3, and it was Alaska Fairbanks beating Denver by 2 goals 3-1. In Atlantic hockey, RIT shut out Bentley by a score of 3-0. In Big Ten, it was Ohio State beating Michigan State by a score of 3-1. Wisconsin shut out Notre Dame 2-0. It was Bowling Green beating Lake Superior State in the CCHA 5-2, and Minnesota State beat Northern Michigan 5-2. In the ECAC, Rensselaer Polytechnic beat Colgate by a score of 5-3. It was Cornell with a 5-goal win over Union 6-1. It was a final in overtime, Harvard beating Princeton 4-3, and Quinnipiac shut out Dartmouth 3-0. It was University of New Hampshire beating Providence 2-0, and then in exhibition, Michigan beat the U18 team. I believe that was 8-7, as the U18 team, National Developmental Team, had a goal late to make it close, and then a 3-on-1 late rush, but Michigan able to pull off the win there. A couple games in progress right now, so there's a tournament happening with 9:27 left in the second. It's Michigan Tech leading Boston University 3-1. It's a final, UMass Lowell doubling up AIC 4-2. Final in a shootout, Clarkston beat Holy Cross in non-conference 2-1. Alaska Anchorage and Maine are tied at 2-2 in the second period. It is Boston College up 1-0 with 12:31 left to go in the first period. It's a final in Atlantic hockey. RIT beating Bentley 3-1. Ohio State shut out Michigan State 6-0, and it's 1-1 between Minnesota State and Northern Michigan in the first period with 5:21 left. Two remaining finals. Colgate beat Union 2-1, and Northeastern beat Connecticut 4-1. Well, again, from a piece that Terry Jacoby wrote a couple years ago about this tournament that Dan Jilek would have been proud and on the edge of his seat Saturday night. That was a game, Pioneer versus Skyline. That was for the championship a couple years ago, but he does a good breakdown on Dan Jilek. It says, Dan Jilek not only loved competition, but he thrived on it. He earned his bachelor's and master's degree from the University of Michigan and played football for the Wolverines from 1972 to 75 and was a 2-year starter at outside linebacker. He played 4 seasons for the Buffalo Bills and was named the team Rookie of the Year in 1976. But his competitive edge and work ethic wasn't limited to the football field. After retiring, he opened the Dan D. Jilek Insurance Agency in Ann Arbor in 1983. And not only was he successful, but he believed in giving back to the community until his death in March in 2002 at the age of 48. It was his love of sports and community that was the genesis of the annual Jilek Cup, which faces off this weekend here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube in Ann Arbor. So just a little bit about Dan Jilek. Again, Terry Jacoby from We Love Ann Arbor wrote that a couple years ago, January 6th in 2020, but it is as true now as it is then. We are very grateful to the Jilek family and all the wonderful things that Dan did, not only on the field, but for the community and for everyone out there in Ann Arbor. He touched a lot of lives, and we are just happy to be able to bring this game of the tournament to you. Pioneer comes out on to the ice. Skyline coming out as well, 17 minutes up on the clock. A 4-goal second has propelled Skyline to a 5-1 lead. And Skyline looking to take on the winner of the next game, Father Gabriel Richard versus Huron. That will be the 7 o'clock game. So the winner of this game will play the winner of that game at 3 o'clock tomorrow. The loser of this game will play the loser of the next game at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We will have whichever game Pioneer is in. We'll have that game for you. But again, if you're looking for good hockey, come out. Father Gabriel Richard versus Huron coming up next at 7 o'clock. And you could even catch the end of this one. Pioneer hoping for a big comeback. "17 minutes up on the clock. We're getting ready to go. Sutton, Comuton, and Yang, your frontliners. Defenders for Pioneer, it is Sanborn and Miller. For Skyline, it is Moran, and Min, the frontliners. Roberts and Newton are the D-liners. That comes over. Roberts has it. In along the near boards, fires it over to Maw. Top of the far near circle, that fired ahead by Sutton all the way back into the neutral zone. Racing down to get it. Skyline has it on the far circle of their own zone. Now through the neutral zone, that tipped away. Newton has it outside the far circle of his own zone. Newton feeds it ahead. Here comes Moran. Moran fires it in front. That goes all the way into the far corner. Min trying to get it. Puck wouldn't settle down. That puck comes into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Moran with it there, spinning with it, trying to keep it outside. Over to Maw underneath the far near circle. That comes back. Pioneers. Sutton trying to sweep it back into the neutral zone. Held in. Now it's all the way back in along the far boards of the neutral zone. Roberts collects it on the near boards. Coming in. Top of the near circle. Gets it outside the near circle. Roberts in along the end boards. He's pinned against the boards by Miller. The puck into the far corner. Trying to pull it away. Yang comes along the far boards over his own blue line. Yang racing ahead over center ice with it. Yang outside the far circle. Now back behind the goal. The puck outside the near circle now. Chipped all the way through the neutral zone. Moran coming in the high slot. Moran with a shot saved by Houston. And puck pulled away. Here it comes. And fed ahead to Yang coming down on the near boards. Collected right at their own blue line. Trying to feed it ahead is Newton. Newton goes over center ice. Newton gains the Pioneer zone. Newton on the far circle coming in. Newton takes it back behind the goal. That went off of the near side of the net. Trying to pull it away back there is Rowe. The puck outside the near circle now, bringing it ahead. Comuton fires it all the way down. And it deflects off of the far circle, comes off the far boards. That comes back underneath the near circle. Newton bringing it down the near boards. Now trying to avoid pressure by Garcia. Drifts back underneath the near circle of his own zone. Fires it all the way down. And tipped by Skyline into the far corner. Miller chases it back behind his own goal. Miller sweeps it ahead. And grabbed, trying to pull that away. And get it over on the other side is Holt. And puck loose underneath the near circle. Now Nakashima has it. Poked away by Sanborn. Nakashima down to the ice. That's going to be a tripping call against Pioneer. Pioneer will be shorthanded as Sanborn goes into the box. And at 14:31, so Skyline up an attacker. Face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle. There was some sort of black strap that was on the ice. The official took care of it. Moran sends it back to the near point. Skyline with possession in the Pioneer zone. That rifled all the way down. Pioneer able to clear it all the way down the ice. That just to Wilson's right. There's a shot. Wilson with the save. Good job racing down to provide pressure by Comuton. And puck gathered up underneath the near Circled by Reichbart. Reichbart feeding it ahead to Moran. Go Mutant trying to knock it away. Here comes Lucas DeYoung. Lucas DeYoung, top of the near circle, the Pioneer zone. Drop pass over to Moran. Moran with a shot. Saved by Houston. That comes back over, sent into the far corner. Lucas DeYoung firing it out in front. Min just couldn't get a stick on it. Moran outside the near circle, sends it back to the near point. Back over to Moran, top of the near circle. Shot saved by Houston. 13:42 left to go here in the third. 5-1 is the lead by Skyline. Face off in the Pioneer zone. 1 minute, 11 seconds left on the Pioneer penalty kill. That puck back to the near point to Newton. Newton brings it over. There's a shot loose off the far side, or off the near side of the goal. Able to cover it up is Houston. Houston doing a good job. Tough position to come in as he came in late in the second. Face off in the near face off circle. That to Houston's right. Maw in there. Trying to battle over there was Ward. That puck covered up by Houston. 13:24 left to go here in the third. 5-1. Skyline with the lead. 55 seconds left to go in the Skyline power play. Again, Maw versus Ward. That coming over. Newton, top of the near circle. Feeds it through the slot. Shot on the far circle. Wouldn't settle down for Nakashima. That comes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Into the far corner. Sutton and Maw pinned against the boards, trying to pull it away. And it comes back into the neutral zone, in along the near boards. Newton drifts back to his own blue line. Now feeds it in along the near boards to Roberts. Roberts comes ahead with it outside the near circle. Puts it back to the blue line for Newton. Newton, top of the near circle. Over on the far circle, shot, and that is save. Set up Nakashima, good save. 12:50 left to go here in the third. 19 seconds left to go. In the Pioneer penalty kill. Face-off is going to be in the far face-off circle. Co-Mutant in to take the face-off versus Maw. 2:15s in the face-off circle. Comes top of the far circle. Over to Roberts. Is a good job trying to knock it away. Is Garcia coming over. Shot by Nakashima. Just goes high over the crossbar. All the way back into the Skyline zone. Down in along the near boards. Newton goes back behind his own goal from the far side to the near side. Newton trying to feed it ahead to Roberts. Roberts over his own blue line, down the near boards. Roberts on the near circle. Good job to tip it away by Friedman. Friedman takes the check. That back over to Maw. Whistle. As there is an injured player. Newton slow to get up. As he is, we hope he's all right. Terrific player, and he is on his knees having an issue as there was he took a check as he fired that puck forward. And he has not stood up yet as he is holding that right knee. As everyone takes a knee out on the ice. Is hoping that Newton is okay. Trainers going over, taking a look at him. With 12:20 left to go, as again he was back behind trying to get that puck ahead. And took a check right as he released that, as the trainer's taking a look, trying to work on him. As we will step away for a moment as they are working on Newton. So you love to see everyone play their guts out, but you don't want to see any of these folks injured, as that was absolutely drilled into our head from the NFL just a few days ago. Let us play just a couple messages from the MHSAA.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
See, every once in a while you can use the broadcaster's curse to your good, as soon as I played the PSA, Newton was able to get up and helped off of the ice. They'll take care of him on the bench. Like I said, we hope that he is all right. Face-off is outside of the Pioneer zone in the near face-off circle. And comes in Friedman. Fires it over on the far side, trying to get it ahead. Garcia right at center ice. Garcia coming down the far board, swept into the Skyline zone, now fired ahead by Reichbart. Bringing it ahead, coming down is Stouffer. Stouffer gains the Pioneer zone outside the near circle. That puck knocked away. Here comes Pioneer. Cole Mutin trying to get it out of the zone, held in by Stouffer. That puck all the way into the far corner as Hudson trying to pull it away. That puck through, sticked into the near corner by Houston. That comes outside the neutral zone and along the near boards. Reichbart into the near corner. Reichbart goes back behind his goal, now switches underneath the near circle, gets ahead to McCallion. McCallion as that, Cole Mutin trying to hold it in, now McCallion feeds it ahead. Barnes trying to get into the zone, that tipped away, battle for it in along the far boards. Now that lifted into the Pioneer zone. As Friedman has it back behind his own goal, Friedman puts it back behind, that over. Bringing ahead was Rowe through the neutral zone, grabbed at center ice. Now brought in by Bagozzo. Bagozzo fires it deep, that off the sideboards, came right to Houston. Held in at the near point. Bagozzo trying to fire it back deep. Pioneer chasing it, Friedman in along the end boards. Now Ward trying to get to it, that outside the far circle. Roberts sends it back. Now here comes Pioneer. Yang racing down the far boards. Yang, one player, Bagozzo in front of him, and saved out there by Wilson as Yang got it on net. Wilson able to cover it up. 10:43 left to go. Here in the third, 5-1. Skyline with the lead over Pioneer. On the line is a trip to the Dan Jilek Ann Arbor Cup Finals tomorrow. Unless Pioneer has an outstanding comeback, it will be a different team's banner underneath on the left-hand side. Shot! That one just goes wide into the near corner. Racing over to get it, trying to pull that away is Sutton. Chasing it, Ward outside the far circle, trying to avoid Stevens. Roberts as that chip, Sutton trying to fire it back behind. Loose in the slot, now loose on the near circle. And chipped away by Nakashima. Now coming ahead, here comes Nakashima, one defender to beat as Sanborn trying to keep in front of him. That's going to be a penalty to Sanborn. Delayed penalty to Pioneer. Nakashima has it in the far corner. Nakashima gets it into the slot, shot, that deflects, knocked down, moving, that shot, good save by Houston into the far corner as Sanborn touches it, and that will bring up the delayed penalty. .10:02 left to go here in the third. Sanborn goes in. I think that's going to be a tripping call. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. That is to Houston's left. All the way back to the blue line, held in by Skyline as Maw has it. Drop pass back over to Nakashima. Maw fires it right through the crease. Good job by Houston to make a save. The puck right back behind Miller. Trying to get it around a stick. That comes all the way outside the far circle. Back with it. Reichbart feeds it outside the near circle. Roberts coming in with a shot. That deflects all the way back into the neutral zone. Skyline will reset there. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in the Skyline power play. Roberts trying to move it over to Stevens. Skyline with a 4-goal lead. Reichbart has that knocked away. Here comes Cole Mutin. Cole Mutin comes in. Cole Mutin backhanded shot. And that is a save by Wilson. 9:18 left to go. Looks going to be a slashing. As into the box goes Roberts on slashing, so we'll have 4-on-4 hockey. At 9:18. So 1 minute, 17 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. And Pioneer will have a short power play, 43-second power play, if I can do proper math. That puck shot, that goes over into the near corner. Grabbing it, Reichbart feeds it in along the far boards. Bringing it ahead, here comes Hutton. Hutton gets it over now, racing in with it. Moran with a shot. That one just goes wide outside the far circle. Racing over to get it. Lucas DeYoung puts it into the far corner. And pulled it away, Moran. Moran on that bar circle. And deflected away by Rowe. Shot from the slot. High slot. Saved by Houston. 8:50 left to go here in the third. 5-1. Skyline with the lead. 48 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey before a short Pioneer power play. Face-off is to Houston's left. In the far face-off circle, Lucas DeYoung in there taking the face-off versus Sutton. And puck slips right back behind, and Houston covers it up as it came to the far side of the goal. Houston not wanting to take any risks there. Face-off again to Houston's left. Sutton versus Lucas DeYoung. Puck still loose now, pulled away, trying to fire it ahead was Hudson. Comes back over, Lucas DeYoung has it in along the end boards. Lucas DeYoung underneath the near circle in the Pioneer zone, gets it back to the near point for Hutton. On the near circle, Lucas DeYoung moves it over to Moran. Moran outside the near circle. Moran into the near corner, trying to fire it out in front. Saved by Houston as Lucas DeYoung got it right out. Just on the edge of the crease, fired it there. Houston with a great save. 8:21 left to go here in the third. 20 more seconds left to go on 4-on-4 hockey before a short Pioneer power play. Face-off in the near face-off circle to Houston's right. And Stevens in there versus Sutton. Nakashima has it back behind the goal. Nakashima underneath the near circle, gets it back to the far point. Now over that shot, trying to get his Lexon. And a save by Houston. 8:09 left to go. 7 seconds left in 4-on-4 hockey. 5-1. Skyline with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Stevens again. That back to the near point. Lexon sends it in along the end boards. Friedman trying to knock it away. Here comes Sutton. Sutton on the near circle, gets it into the neutral zone. Yang has it there. Yang trying to feed it ahead. Here comes Sutton gaining the zone. Top of the far circle. That shot deflected into the far corner. All the way into the near corner. Lexon with it. Lexon outside the near circle. Yang trying to hold it in. Cole Mutin firing it out in front, trying to get it over the side and covered up by Wilson. 25 seconds of 5-on-4 hockey. Pioneer on the power play. 7:43 left to go, 5-1. Skyline with the 4-goal lead, trying to make it to the Ann Arbor Cup Championship game in the Dan Jilek tournament tomorrow. Huron versus Father Gabriel Richard, as Father Gabriel Richard already has a couple posters for their team up in the far corner. Face-off is going to be to Wilson's right as Garcia taking the face-off. That comes up and right back behind the Skyline bench. They'll drop it again with 21 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Searching for where that puck went, and they'll just end up getting a new puck. It end up hitting the curtains right back behind the Skyline bench. Well, they'll drop the puck. Cole Mutin and lifted all the way back. Skyline won that. Sent all the way back into the Pioneer zone. 13 seconds left to go in the Pioneer abbreviated power play. Garcia bringing ahead. That fired into the neutral zone. Lexon feeds it down the far boards. That cleared all the way back into the Pioneer end. Rowe trying to get it. Rowe puts it in along the near boards. Garcia trying to get it ahead to Cole Mutin. That intercepted right at the center line. Here comes Lucas DeYoung. Lucas DeYoung outside the near circle, trying to feed it over to that was Newton. That comes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Lucas DeYoung hits it underneath the near circle, now back outside the far circle. Lucas DeYoung puts it in along the end boards. Nakashima trying to fire it out in front. Nakashima on the far circle with the shot. That got deflected into the near corner. 6:45 left to go. Skyline is back to full strength. Newton holding it in. Top of the near circle. Newton coming over with the shot. That deflects off the glass outside the far circle. Yang trying to chip that back into the neutral zone. Newton gathers it up and along the far boards of his own zone, right at his own blue line. Newton trying to get past Cole Mutin. Banks it off the glass. That comes right back behind Houston. Now into the near corner it goes. Trying to grab it was Moran out in front. That covered up by Houston. 6:14 left to go here in the third. 5-1. Pioneers scored first. Skyline answered back to have it tied at the end of the first, and 4 unanswered goals in the second. And Pioneers goalkeeping captain with a game misconduct and had to go back into the locker room with about 2 minutes left to go in the second. All the way back, that'll be icing and come back into the Pioneer zone. And we'll be to the right of Houston. Lucas DeYoung in there facing off versus Ward. And puck, top of the near circle, holding it in is Roberts for Skyline. Roberts making a move on that far circle. Roberts with the shot. And saved outside the far circle. Now back to the far point. Shot just goes wide. Grab there. Here comes Ward down the near boards of his own zone. Ward gets out into the neutral zone. He's pinned against the boards by Min, but gets it over to Sutton. That poke checked away from Sutton, but gathering it in is Ward, but offside's the call. 5:38 left to go here in the third. Five to 1, Skyline with the lead. Face off outside of the Skyline zone. In the near face off circle. Cole Mutant in there versus Barnes. And puck gathered up. Here comes Barnes over center ice for Skyline. Barnes trying to get it over to Callian. And pulled away. Here comes Cole Mutant. Cole Mutant has it tipped into the near corner. Him and Roberts battling. Heavy check back there. Roberts pops up. He's okay. Trying to feed it ahead and lift it all the way back in along the far boards. Racing ahead with it is here comes Hannes. Hannes puts it in along the end boards. And swept right back behind the Pioneer goal. Now trying to pull that away. The puck sent outside the far circle, gathering it up right Barton. Battle for it on the far boards, trying to knock it ahead. That puck comes all the way back out to center. Picking it up. As Moran has it, sent it right to the Pioneer blue line. McCallion sends it deep. The puck into the far corner. Here comes Sanborn. Sanborn knocks it off the near boards. Trying to pull it away. Garcia trying to hold it in. That puck comes back into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn feeding it down the near boards to Yang. Yang ricochets it off the near boards. That's sent in by Cole Mutant, but pulled the other direction by Skyline. 4:22 left to go. Stouffer of Skyline feeds it back over to Newton. We're glad to see Newton's okay. Nico DeYoung feeds it back over. Now Yang trying to pull it in along the near boards. And puck into the near corner. Now pulling back over. Rifled into the neutral zone. Lifted, tipped by Nico DeYoung back into the Pioneer zone. Yang has it on the near circle of his own zone. That up into the netting. 3:51 left to go here in the third. 5-1, Skyline with the lead. Right after this will be Huron versus in the rink. We won't have the broadcast, but right after this will be Huron versus Father Gabriel Richard. That puck, Newton, shot, top of the near circle. That just goes wide. Collected outside the far circle by Nakashima. That puck loose, trying to pull it away is Rowe. Rowe trying to get it down the far boards, holding it in. And lift it back, Onstead. Has it in the neutral zone for Skyline. Feeds it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Houston has it there. Now trying to get to it outside the far circle. That intercepted. Back over, Nico DeYoung with a shot. That comes outside the near circle. Nakashima has it. Right out in front. Another save by Houston. Now Friedman trying to get it out of the zone. Newton has it outside the near circle. Newton into the near corner. Newton goes back behind the goal from the far side, near side of the far side. Nico DeYoung trying to get it in the slot. That comes back to Newton. Newton outside the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Newton taking a shot, and Houston with the save. 2:53 left to go here in the third. 5-1 is the lead by Skyline. Face off in the near face off circle. Barnes in to take the face off. That puck held in by Roberts at the near point. Lifted back in along the end boards. Miller trying to get to it. That into the far corner. Sanborn trying to pull that away, battling with Hannes. Now Barnes with a shot. That knocked down by Houston. Now bringing it out. Here comes Pioneer. Comuton gains the Skyline zone. Comuton, as that was a block by Reichbart, who went down to the ice to block that away. Battle for it out in front, trying to feed it into the slot. Backhanded shot by Garcia, got blocked out in front. Sanborn trying to take a shot from the blue line, couldn't get everything on it, bringing it the other direction. Here comes Hannes. Hannes puts it into the near corner, 2:13 left to go, and pulled back over. The puck on the near circle, shot covered up by, or trying to cover it up by Houston, still loose. Now Houston gets on top of it. 2:01 left to go here in the third. Skyline with the 5-1 lead. The winner here plays the winner of Father Gabriel Richard Huron in the game after this. Loser will play the loser of the Father Gabriel Richard Huron game, and will be the consolation game at 1 o'clock tomorrow. The championship game at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Maw puts it back over. Roberts trying to feed it back down. Moran trying to fire it. That off. Coming in. Maw had it. Now that goes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Chasing it. Nico DeYoung off the side of the goal. Good save by Houston there. Still battling. The puck loose and covered up. 1 minute 40 seconds left to go. There was quite the crowd in the crease. Houston able to cover it up, as coming over Comuton gives him a big pat on the back. I think what finally did it was the puck came off of, or the net came off of its moorings. Well, face-off will be out in the far face-off circle, that to the left of Houston. 4-goal lead by Skyline with 1 minute 40 seconds left to go. Roberts has it high slot, trying to make his way in, tipped away. Here comes Pioneer. Yang bringing it ahead. Yang trying to chase it. Moran has it in along the far boards for Skyline. Moran trying to spin around with it over his own blue line. Moran trying to get into the zone. That chipped away. Bringing it in was Nico DeYoung, but that will be off sides and come back outside the Pioneer zone. 1 minute 22 seconds left to go. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle, trying to pull that away, gathering it up, now racing ahead with it. Sanborn comes down the far board. Sanborn comes back into the near corner, trying to pull that away, battle for it outside the near circle. That's sent right back behind the Skyline goal into the far corner. Newton has it there. Newton and Sutton pinned against the boards. As that comes top of the far circle, trying to hold it in. That deflects out into the neutral zone. Now racing ahead. Here comes Newton. Newton on a breakaway on the near circle. Shot. That deflected all the way back into the neutral zone. Onstead has it. Poked away. Here comes Pioneer. Racing in. Shot and a score by Sutton. Sutton able to get a Pioneer goal. That at 44.1 seconds left to go. That makes it 5-2. As Sutton trying to get his equipment fixed, as he had to take his gloves off there. Get everything back on. 44.1 seconds left to go. Pioneer has cut it down to a 3-goal lead. And back to Newton. Newton takes it back behind his own keeper. That brought ahead by Stevens. As unassisted by Sutton, as Rowe moves it over and along the near boards. That banked ahead by Friedman, now trying to bring it in, battle for it by Holt. Holt trying to get to it, loose at the center ice. Moran with it, 15 seconds left to go. Moran comes in, Moran with the shot, saved by Houston. 9.3 seconds left to go. Pioneer will fall. They will play at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have that game for you. They will play either Huron or Father Gabriel Richard. Whoever loses that game, that will be 1 o'clock tomorrow. Championship game between Skyline and the winner of the next game will be at 3 o'clock. Barnes taking the face-off versus Ward. That held in at the far point by Bagozo. 3 seconds left to go. Pioneer, Ward holding it back behind, and that will do it. So Pioneer will be unable to repeat as Dan Jilek Ann Arbor Cup champions. Skyline advances. They will play the winner of Huron versus Father Gabriel Richard. That game next. We won't have a broadcast. We'll have the 1 o'clock game for you tomorrow, and we will continue there. Then we'll have Pioneer women's basketball on Thursday. So for my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very, very much. Have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.